You know, I love the NBA. I love basketball. I love where the game is at talent-wise.
Me too.
These players are incredible. However, there's two things that are really hurting the NBA product right now. The ratings are showing it. The fan reaction is showing it. And the everyday casual watcher, not the trolls and the bots in these comments, who are scared to show their face. I'm talking about the everyday, you know, here and there watcher, right? And the old school basketball fan, they've tuned out in a way. And I'll tell you why. The biggest thing, analytics. These geeks came in 2015. They thought they did some revolutionary thing.
Not
they said
the
threes are
geeks.
worth more than twos. When the game got obsessed and these front offices got obsessed with spacing the floor, it took away, you know, and the other thing is the rules. The rules are completely pussified. It's so soft and loosened up. Offensive players are at full power, right? That's why the 70s, 80s are going to keep happening. These guys are too good to where if you space them out, put them on an island through the analytics, then the fucking defensive player can't even touch them. You can't get in their shit, wearing them down for the course of a game. You can't even guide them, right? There's a no-touch rule. So that, and then look what happened, right? You lost, with all this that has happened, you've lost the low post game for the first time in the history of the game.
Right.
There's no real low post players outside of 3 or 4 guys. The mid-range game is reserved for superstars because that's what the data says is right. There's no half-court execution and running sets, you know, in the mid-range for post players. It's all to get open 3, right? On top of that, you lost the night-to-night possession intensity because defensive players are disabled.
A lot to unpack there. And for those who have been keeping up with the NBA, the main reason why this has been brought up is because of the amount of 70 balls that have been dropping over the last 2 weeks. Last week, as of the recording of this video, Joel Embiid dropped 70, and literally a couple nights later, Luka Doncic, friend of the show, dropped 73.
It sounds like he's complaining about good basketball. I don't know what else to say there. I mean, are players supposed to play dumber? Are coaches supposed to coach stupider? I'm not going to act like every coach is good, but the game has been played in an optimal way. Role players shooting mid-ranges, in hindsight, never did make that much sense unless you're going to expect that guy to give you 18 plus a night, because then that player is providing the defensive attention at all 3 levels of the game. But you actually benefit having a couple of design players doing that, and then majority of your players outside on the 3-point line, shooting the most optimal shot possible outside of debatably a dunk, which I don't think a lot of people will consider is a debate because a backdoor cut is a play of hell. He's literally asking the NBA to regress, and it's nasty. Now, I'm not a fan of seeing these high scoring games like every generation has done, but nah, asking the NBA to regress ain't the way either. What do you want? Motherfucking Nas Reed post touches? Like, I don't want DFS post touches. I've seen that. I don't want players playing worse just to feel a nostalgia thing. People got to realize that, hey, sometimes the year you're in is the peak year. Sometimes. Maybe not with the scoring, though.
I think this is a case of 2 things can be true at once, because he is right. Like, analytics have played a big part in this movement. But on the same token, again, like what you just said, do you want teams and franchises to lose games? Because if you don't play this way, you will lose games. If you're that front office, if you're that team, what you gonna do? You just gonna go to the post every time because this is the brand of basketball that aesthetically pleases me. Yeah, this is a real man's basketball team. Like, no, that's not the case. I think ultimately this is a case of over optimization pissing people off because it's changing what they're used to. So as a guy who was born in 2000, I believe a lot of the people who have the same sentiment were born in the 80s, mid 80s, grew up watching basketball in the 90s and the 2000s. They grew up in the slowest pace era in NBA history, in the 90s and in the 2000s, and a little bit of the early 2010s. But if you look at the history of the sport, those 2.5 decades are, if anything, the outlier. In the 60s, it was high-paced basketball. In the 70s, it was high-paced basketball. In the 80s, it was high-paced basketball. From 2015 and on, high-paced basketball. 2020s, high-paced basketball. So when you look at the majority of the history of the game, this is actually the norm. There's a reason why a lot of these 70-point games, it's either between the 60s and now. It's either between the 80s and now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like in terms of analytics as well, like you just have to put anything and everything into proper context anyway. So I don't see the whole, this is really gonna ruin the record books thing. Like, no, you always have to put stats into context regardless of what the fuck is going on. I don't blame where the game is headed, and I think this is naturally where it was gonna go, one way or the other, and we're just getting mad at people for playing the game ultimately, in my opinion, what it's supposed to be.
I will give people credit, though. They do gotta find a way, because some of it can get cartoony. But nah, I agree. Like, people are playing basketball smarter. I'm not gonna ask people to play stupid.
But even with that, because the complaint is everything's a 3 now, Sage. Like, God, every possession's a 3. Bro, what the fuck were y'all watching in the 90s? We have a video on this channel watching an NBA game, NBA Finals. This is peak basketball with Rusty buckets. It is age restricted though, unfortunately.
Womp womp.
Literally every possession was just a dump off to Karl Malone, bro. Literally every possession was just Michael Jordan mid post, let him go to work. If they double, they gotta commit. If they don't, it's isolation basketball the whole time. So this idea that the game is so repetitive, there are errors in basketball was extremely repetitive, and that was apparently the golden age of basketball to y'all. So shit's weird.
What the fuck is this? The Lakers get DeJounte Murray. I'm cool with that. And the Hawks get Max Christie, a first rounder, and Austin Reeves? Whoever's responsible for this mock trade right here needs to be behind bars, doing 95 to life. Austin Reeves is not touchable.
95.
Now look, if we talking a superstar player like a Kyrie, Jokic, Giannis, okay, then he's touchable. But I'm not giving up Austin Reeves for DeJounte Murray, bro. Relax. They probably made a mistake. They meant to put D'Angelo bum-ass Russell in this.
Oh, wow.
They said yesterday the Lakers wanted DeJounte
okay.
Murray. I'm cool with that. He could play make, he could defend, and he could average more than 4 points per game in the Western Conference Finals. Something D'Lo can't do. So Rob Pelinka, if you want DeJounte Murray, trade Max Christie, Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, and every first-round pick, and we got a deal.
He is unfortunately the epitome of what you guys think we are, man. I promise you, these are like the LeBron hybrids, man. We ain't all like Laker fans are toxic. Let's not get it twisted. All time, we are still top 5, but we're not numero uno like this. And this is another example, man. The idea that like, yo, unless you're trading like a top 10 guy, that's when we'll cough up our top 30-ish player. It's kind of crazy. And I just don't know why LA hates D'Lo so much. Every time I check Twitter, if I didn't see the game, nigga dropped 30 or 18 on good shooting. I know he has some games where he's like, whatever, but for the most part, D'Lo been kind of cooking. And for some reason, LA just can't stand him over the 4 games in the Western Conference Finals. Fun fact, we're probably gonna lose anyway the way them motherfuckers are shooting. I don't want to make an excuse for his poor play, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't look at 4 games and say, yeah, the entire player is useless, especially given what he's done for us this season. I just don't get it. Now, getting DeJounte in general, my question as well is for what? I think him and Austin Reeves is damn near a lateral move for us, so I would say no to this trade as well.
I'm gonna be honest, man, and maybe it's me being hella pessimistic. I don't think there's any single realistic transaction that y'all can make by the trade deadline that's gonna turn the season around for y'all. Because unfortunate as it sounds, because I genuinely feel like I don't think he's a bad coach. He was just hired into a position with really high expectations, and I just don't think he's the right person for the job. But Darvin Ham has shown a lack of ability to make the personnel that he has work, especially this season. So even if y'all get a DeJounte Murray, even if y'all get these dudes, will Darvin Ham even know how to utilize them properly to maximize what you guys have? If y'all get DeJounte Murray, I have a feeling like the offense is gonna somehow run through DeJounte Murray now. Like Darvin Ham is just gonna pull that card, and Anthony Davis is gonna be relegated to a 3rd option, when really he should be the 1st option at this point with how crazy he's been going, and the ball should be in LeBron's hands. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the coaching, as much as I want to give pushback and give coaches graces nowadays, Darvin Ham, I think he's a problem for real.
I mean, obviously, Darvin Ham is a fucking problem. Spoiler alert, wahoo, you got me. Nah, obviously Darvin Ham's a problem. I do also agree with the fact that the Lakers are literally the roster in the NBA where I look top to bottom and I'm like, you guys suck? The fuck? Like, it doesn't make sense. I will say the Lakers probably do have more realistic packages that we can go for. We need switchable players that can guard the guard spot. We don't need any more 2 through 4 guys. We really don't. We need someone to guard point guard. Curry gave us fucking fits. We still won the game, but Curry gave us fucking fits. And now, granted, I think come playoff times, we always make the adjustments, but for the most part, if we had to just do a point guard versus point guard thing, the Lakers struggle at defending the other team's point guard, and we also need a sniper extraordinaire shooter. So I don't think either of those things are necessarily too expensive in terms of like the asset of a 1st round pick, a young player in Max Christie or whatever, or even a D'Angelo Russell, let alone Austin Reeves. But obviously, why would you do Austin Reeves for just a shooter at that point? But I think what the Lakers run into is this fantasy of getting that 3rd guy who's like capable of averaging 27, or what DeJounte Murray still to a lot of people is, where he's this 22 and DPOY guard. Like, we don't need to do all of that. Give me a point guard that can competently guard point guards, trade one of the wings, we have a surplus of wings, and then get me a goddamn shooter, not a guy that can shoot. Sage, what do you mean he's shooting 39? No. Give me a motherfucking sniper. I want a motherfucker to catch the ball and you know it's 3. And that's all I'm asking for. So I think it's possible. You just got to go it out there, find the names, get it done. I ain't your GM.
Oh yeah, I agree. There's trades that y'all could do that would improve the team. I'm not gonna say that, oh, it doesn't matter what the fuck y'all get, y'all not gonna get better at the trade deadline. There's moves that y'all can make, but I think ultimately the downfall of this team, and this is a team trying to win a championship this year, is just gonna come to Darvin Ham not being able to utilize what he got in front of him. Because maybe this is another hot take. I think the talent that you guys have right now, given the right coach who actually knew how to manage his personnel properly, y'all should be a top 3 seed.
That ain't a hot take at all when you have AD literally playing to where he's not healthy. When you have LeBron James still somehow at floor, a top 10 player in basketball. When you have Austin Reeves literally, I mean, Laker fans are fucking crazy, but this is why they're crazy. Austin Reeves is definitely a fantastic option, either off the bench or as the 3rd star. D'Angelo Russell being the guy that we're making fun of. Look at his numbers. That's the guy we're cooking. Rui, that's the guy that we're about to pack up. So yeah, I agree 100%. It's hammy, but we made our bed. We fired Vogel. Now we gotta lay in it.
You need to see Saturn to believe it? No. You're purposely misrepresenting the point of what I'm saying because you don't agree with me. And that's fucked up. I'm saying there's footage of all types of sports dating over 100 years, right? Facts. There's no footage of Saturn. So if an expert tells me that Saturn is there, I'm gonna trust that Saturn is there. Feel me? Now, if there was footage of Uranus and Pluto and close-up footage of the sun, and there was footage of other galaxies and solar systems, but there was no footage of Saturn, then I would question if Saturn exists. You get my point? Because there's footage of every other sporting event, every other milestone, there's footage of these things. But for some reason, Wilt's 100-point game, the footage doesn't exist. That's my concern, bro. That's my fucking concern.
Damn. His voice didn't used to sound like that.
I agree. That game didn't exist, bro. I've always said it didn't exist. I've said this offline millions of times. I guess it's finally the day that I'd take this to the internet. Yeah, I don't think shit real.
For real, bro?
I don't think it happened. I think that motherfucker probably was like 80, probably like 70. And he was like, y'all ain't gonna snitch. Y'all ain't gonna snitch. Honey bun. Or like they extended the time or just like lied about how many points he had in the 3rd quarter or some shit. I don't know. Whatever they had to do. I don't think that nigga. If he did, congrats to you. But I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the things where, as he said, we've seen every game. Nigga, I seen Wilt play Bill in the finals, but you ain't got Wilt's fucking honey bun? Are we serious? I literally just reacted to Wilt versus Bill on my stream at TSO_Sage not too long ago. But we don't have the honey bun? I don't know.
Sage, as more and more conversations we personally have, I think the more and more we both realize how gullible I am. So, for a majority of my life, I was like, hey, man, this is what the record books say. It definitely had to happen. But literally the last 2 years, the more and more people have just randomly talked about it. Did it really happen? Now I'm starting to question it, man. Because they ain't just right, man. We literally have footage of every single fucking game. Every single one. But not that night.
I could pull up a game of him in Philly. What are we doing?
In 100-1-0-0. I don't know, man. Something's fishy. It could have been 90, could have been 97, could have been 102, but a honey bun.
Now you thinking. Now you thinking, Benji. Hey, look, if y'all think I'm a bad influence, hey, I'm not the only one. Why is it 100 flat? Like, also, like, you're telling me that Kawinky Dinky, he had free throws too, so Kawinky Dinky had an even number of makes just so coherently to fit his even number of buckets because you know he wasn't shooting threes. Okay, buddy. All right. Nigga ain't dropped no motherfucking honey. He probably dropped like a cool. I could even see 90, 93. He ain't dropped no motherfucking honey.
If Derrick White and Jalen Brunson replaced roles and you put Derrick White on that New York Knicks team right now, they're the same team, if not better. That's the worst take. You can't even say it with a straight face.
Nah, this is comically bad. I ain't gonna. I don't know. That's not true. That is not true remotely. Not secondarily.
Let's hear him out, man. Let's hear him out. Take not over.
Not in the mood for tuna. I don't want him to cook. I'm not in the mood for tuna, bro.
Job not finished.
I'm not in the mood for ramen, bro.
You can't look at me like that and expect me not to laugh, bro.
You need to understand the concept of being a guy who carries a load, who is the offensive hub, who creates his own shot, who facilitates, not a guy who spots up, catches the ball, and plays defense. Responsibility is a thing in this league, and Derrick White's responsibility is dwarfed to Jalen Brunson's.
So Derrick White, in your eyes,
He's not an all-star. He's not even a fringe all-star. Sorry about it. He is a fantastic. He's the best in the league at being a role player, at picking up what the other stars leave behind, but he has no responsibility on that team.
I disagree so much because
You're
you
wrong.
replace
You're
Jalen Brunson
wrong.
with Derrick White right now, and
They would have as many wins as the Nets right now because he's a role player.
Derrick White is not a role player. He is
Derrick White
embracing
carries no
his role on the
responsibility.
greatest starting
Embracing
five
his
in the
role. What's
history
his role?
of
What's his
NBA
role?
basketball.
Another hot take. Now, mind you, this is the same dude that believes Jason Tatum's the best in the world. So
Oh, wallahi.
we figured him out, chat. We figured
I'm
him
about to
out.
say, okay. All right, well, now the standard's lower, so I'm not tripping. Go ahead, proceed.
His role is to complement the 4 stars on his fucking team.
Talk about greatness. You like that word because I sure do. Derrick White, Game 6 last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, listen, I heard some
Nothing
hot
you can
takes.
do with this debate,
It
man.
was one. Hold on, because I remember the shot. I don't even know what else he did in that game, bro. Wait a goddamn minute. Talk about greatness. Game 6, Derrick White with a whopping 11 points. on 4 of 10 shooting. So before that shot, chat, he was 3 of 9 from the field.
Greatness. You talking about practice? Like, all right, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. Derrick White is the new Drew Holiday.
Yes, he is. Remember the time? It was like 5 years ago. Oh my God.
5 years ago, AD and the Pelicans, bitch Dame and the Portland Trailblazers, and I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key on the bandwagon for a little bit, man.
Oh,
Drew
my
Holiday or Dame, Drew Holiday or Dame, Drew Holiday or Russell Westbrook. We're obviously not gonna take both as a first option because you can't win them with as a first option, but as a second or third, Drew or Dame.
Nigga, it was like that boy Drew with John Wall and Derrick Rose in the Adidas commercials. I remember that era. Oh my God. And Drew Holiday was that era's Robert Covington. Saying like it's been a thing. It's this guy now. I think even a little bit after that, Robert Covington and Trevor Ariza past their prime share the same thing. But either way, yeah, it's Derrick White's time to be the role player. Can he be that, please, guys? Can we not play pretend? And even if like he's better than some miscellaneous 20-point scoring first option point guard to you, you know what? Have it. Can he not be better than Jalen Brunson specifically in New York specifically? Oh my God. I mean, what do you think? Just straight defense is going to just get the wins back? No, the Knicks would get eviscerated.
Let me ask you this. Is this very similar to the Draymond Green discussions we were having with Prime Draymond? Because I think we all understood like how valuable Draymond was to the Warriors, but people were like, man, Draymond or I don't know, like the LaMelo Ball equivalent of that time.
Nah, people were talking about starting a team with Draymond Green, Draymond or Cat if you're the Magic, things like that. I remember certain, or maybe it wasn't Cat, but I remember certain discussions like who would you build your team around and why is Draymond not in the 10 type shit. I remember those conversations, especially when he was shooting. I would say no, because Derrick White isn't as good as Draymond was. I know that's gonna sound crazy in 2024. He wasn't, but still, it's basically the same cusp. Same song, different mixtape. I ain't gonna lie. A remix, little flow mix, nice little chopped and screwed reverb. But yeah, it's man, just please. I mean, I already don't like Boston for obvious reasons. Please don't have me have a Derrick White beef. That's fucking weird. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, am I about to be the guy that goes on the internet talking about Derrick White's overrated? Like, that's nasty. Like, oh my, random dick suck.
Yeah, Derrick White is like, he's a mind your own business type of dude. Same thing with Drew, to be honest with you. It's just, fans, they be bringing out the toxicity, man. It's bad.
So unironically, we found an example of defense in the modern era. Now, this is by, fucking Nuggets, a well-coached team. In my opinion, a very good defense. But let's see what we talking about here. These switches. I like those. Help side defense. And then now you rotate. Now we're here Hugas. There you go. Now you play the lane there. Yep. You get one. They running out of time. Yes, sir. Basically that clip, and I know that's not like, your peak. Pull your pants up. Player can't go anywhere. Whoa. Oh shit, he's stuck. I know that's not that, but I want y'all to understand how difficult it is for that to do as a defender every single possession. Just go in the gym and just move sideways back and forth, and then move sideways and then start moving up and down. So like move vertically and then horizontally. All right, Now move horizontally, then move vertically, then spin. like doing that every fucking possession, dog. At some point, you're gonna twist your fucking knee because you're not these niggas on the court. It's like, damn, all right, well, that's a lot of fucking coordination. It's almost like it's a lot of fucking skill. Now imagine it, instead of just flat going horizontal, flat going vertical, and then spinning around and then running back and running somewhere, then just running back. Now imagine that the workout is trying to deceive you. So now imagine if like Bezos were supposed to move horizontal, when I say move horizontal, but then I go like this to try to fucking bait him into a good shot. Like, that's what they're dealing with, bro. I think people just forget it because older generations always think that they just can hit phenomenal forearms on their fucking favorite NBA players.
I just think we need to get to that point where every single player on the court is 6'6" and up, bro. It'll fix a lot. Like, for real.
I don't think that's the meta, but I hear it.
But I think, like, ultimately, a lot of the game right now is actually mismatch hunting. This is an oversimplification of the game, but try to get the best mismatch you can every single possession. But if we ever get to a point where you can legitimately switch everything and you can barely find mismatches on the court, I think that'll help defenses a lot. But we're just not there yet when the Trae Youngs of the world are still extremely valuable because of what they bring on the offensive end. When the Rudy Goberts of the world are still valuable. Anthony Davis, I understand Anthony Davis is great on the defensive end, but I'm not gonna lie, bring him out to the perimeter, he gets a little shaky. When the standard for a center is like Bam, like every single team has a Bam, and every single team has like a Alex Caruso type defender as a point guard. Yeah, I think it'd be better, but that's a couple decades away though. Yeah,
we'll see. I think no matter what, there's always gonna be a center on the court, and unless we get to an era where that center is able to be agile enough to guard the point guards or the ball handler at an elite level, that shit ain't gonna happen.
We don't say nothing when they say he's the best passer or he's the best rebounder. But when it comes to scoring, you get shaded. You get shaded for doing what the game is supposed to be done. Oh, he just could score. I don't give a f. Yes, yep, I mastered this. It's people that's out there that only mastered one thing, and they are respected around the world. Like, there's people that master how to make pillows, and they are the best pillow makers in the world. You're not going to them for anything else other than making pillows. That is crazy. But when it comes to scoring, it's like frowned upon. It's like, oh, yeah, he's a great scorer. He's selfish. Why? Because I mastered how to score, because I love to score. You can't be mad at me for enjoying to score the ball. Anybody out there, if this is what you do it to the best of your ability.
Motivational at the very end.
It's motivational Mo or motivational Mello. I don't know what we're looking for there. I ain't gonna lie, he's like not 100% wrong, but I do disagree with him. That's probably gonna be a shocker to some of you guys. Melo's my guy, but just because he's my guy doesn't mean I gotta blindly follow him. I disagree with him there. One, we have this discourse about guys that are only there for passing, only there for defense, only there for rebounding. Yeah, we'll be like, but he's a liability. We do that all the time. So I just think what he's saying is just in bad faith or just untrue. But even if what he said had to be true, I still think that if it had to just be scoring vilified, there's a definitive argument as to why it could also be an outlier if it had to be an outlier. Because scoring, when it's going well, you're obviously doing a lot for your team. But when you're a bad scorer shooting at a high volume, I would argue, and I think you would as well, I think everybody here watching this video, as much as you want to disagree with every Sage take, would say that's the most destructive thing you can do. Be a bad scorer, 0-20, 430 type shit. That's the worst thing you could do on a basketball court than not getting a rebound. Then even turning the ball over, right? Like even having a 8-to-6 turnover ratio. Then not playing defense even, especially in today's game. There's several arguments as to why that if it had to be an outlier, yeah, it probably should be scoring, because scoring is very different. But ultimately, I'm calling bull jive. I'm calling bullshit. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Yeah, it's not true. We cook a lot of people that are one-dimensional.
I'm not gonna echo exactly what you said, but just to name a couple of examples. Bill Russell, he literally nowadays gets left out of the top 10 discussion just because he can't score. 15 points a game in the 60s. You're supposed to score 50. What the fuck, 50? Okay. John Stockton, Rondo, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, the names he mentioned, right? Like the names that were literally on there literally get slandered. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
Yeah, we can keep going on and on and on. I mean, Draymond nowadays, Rudy Gobert. Gobert. Yeah, players have always existed that are one-dimensional and have always been scrutinized. As Steve Kerr, you know, the cones on defense that can shoot. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, Melo, just don't play victim here, man. And you weren't just villainized for master. Bro, people loved you for scoring. Stop it, bro. That is literally the main, I would say only, the main thing why people love you is because you can put the ball in the basket. So to say you were villainized for it, I mean, you got those selfish claims for other reasons too. It wasn't just, he doesn't pass the ball. Nah, you had a couple of chances to, pick winning over money, and you chose money, which is fine. Can someone look at that and say it's selfish? Yeah. Is selfish being a bad thing? With the money you're talking about, hey, be selfish, Melo. I ain't gonna shit. 110 or 130.
God damn
I'm so selfish with my Gucci bags.
Oh my God, here you go, bro.
Melo, ultimately, I'm on your side. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all done got him started, man. And I'll say this to wrap it up. Even if that were true, and it was an outlier, and it was also the most vilified, I still don't like the agenda push, because scoring is easily the most glorified thing if you're an expert at it. Without a shadow of a doubt, remove the stats eye test is about scoring. Hell, you go to the advanced stats, you want to know the advanced stats that people point to? Efficiency stats for scoring the ball. Like, points per game is literally the most sought out stat outside of maybe point totals. There's endless motherfuckers that get referred to as, and I quote, just a bucket. I don't know how this is the hill he wanted to die on. Well, let me not say that, because he's literally a pure scorer. But yeah, nah, I don't like the agenda push here. And Melo's my dog, but this is a miss. Rare miss out of my glorious king.
With that being said, follow us on Twitch, man. Sage, what's your Twitch handle?
At TSO_Sage.
At TSO_Sage there. We talk about some anime shit for like 10 minutes, and then after that, we will actually get on some sports things every now and then. We have fun.
Yeah, we talk about basketball on mine here and there. We be having fun too. The Walking Dead.
He is trying to leave. Chat, if this is my fault, wallahi. But to SLZ, he is trying to leave the hoop community. I'm seeing the play, man.
Oh, it's not your fault. Y'all are too toxic for me. I ain't gonna lie. That's a whole. Hey, if you want me to expand on that, tune into the stream. I'll expand on that. But
yeah, Souls and Sage is fine. Before y'all start crying, Souls and Sage is fine.
The NBA community specifically is too toxic for no reason. If there was a reason for it to be toxic, that's fine. But to be toxic for no reason, nah, man. 2 years. 2 years.
2 years. 2 years for what? Yo, what the does he mean 2 years?
I'll find out, man.
He just, what the hell?